jazzy intro.
Yeah.
Like proper jazzy.
Yeah. Welcome everyone. So we're a couple minutes late because we had some technical issues that we fixed. We never get the credit, do we? No one, that's the thing about show business.
We don't get the credit for the stuff we actually fix.
Yeah. But we are here. Welcome, Vlatka, good to see you. Welcome, Nick Reister as well, Tears of a Clown. If got me ginger beer and my chocky ready and waiting. What chocolate?
Where's mine gone? I walked off with my chocolate already. Have I lost my chocolate already?
I thought you ate the
Oh,
chocolate.
they're over there.
Right, Sam's going to get his chocolate. Yeah, welcome everyone to the Sim Racing Show live. I hope you're doing well. Let us know how you're doing, Black Cat. I have an announcement, Sam. We'll just get straight into it. I am doing a meet and greet this weekend.
Yeah?
Friday, 6 o'clock. Let me get this in the preview. Friday, 6 o'clock at DreamHack at Birmingham NEC with, not any of the brands here, Logitech G.
Nice.
So I'm going to be helping get a bit faster at sim racing.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine there'll be a lot of gamers, let's say, who we're doing, because I think they have like Counter-Strike there and League of Legends and all those like other big games.
Yes, so it's a gaming show, not a sim racing
Exactly. But I think it is one of the biggest game, if not the biggest gaming thing like that in the world. It's normally in America and Sweden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's actually in the UK this time.
It's actually in the UK. I didn't realise what a big deal it is. In fact, I'm only going to be there Friday, Saturday, but I'm thinking I might try and see what's going on Sunday as well, potentially. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Also, F1 Esports, which is one of the news items we'll go through today, is kicking off. It's kicking off this weekend there at DreamHack.
Oh, actually at the same place. Okay.
9 teams.
Where's the other 2 teams?
So, Audi are not there.
Why is that?
I don't know, because Audi were an existing team, but they were Kick, and I don't know if there's some kind of thing there.
Okay.
And Cadillac.
You think Cadillac will be there?
I think it's an indication that, and I'm probably not going to make friends here, but I think it's an indication that F1 Esports is not in the healthiest place.
No.
Because
It hasn't been for years anyway, has it?
No, there's been an absolute mess. I mean, they almost went on strike. Almost didn't happen last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that they can't get 2 new teams shows that it's held together a bit by a thread. Like they can get the existing teams.
I'm surprised that Cadillac aren't there purely because they want the awareness out for them, surely.
Yeah, it's a good point.
They want all the awareness on them, everyone looking at them.
And I'm sure it will get broadcast. Well, actually, I don't know it, but the timing's really bad, isn't it? Because it's the same weekend as Japan.
As Japan, yeah.
If it was the weekend after.
But Japan's early morning again.
Yeah,
though,
but
so.
it's gonna annoy F1 fans seeing it on the F1 channels. If it's a weekend after, they might be like, oh, okay, sim racing because F1's on a bit of an extended
break. Or even the
now.
weekend we just had.
Yeah, exactly. Kit Simba says, toxicity in sim titles, let's begin. Simba, what are you seeing? This is Project Motor Racing related. Are you back on Project Motor Racing? Welcome Punk Rock Pigeon as well. Respect. Black Susie, Levi Racing, Super Seuss as well. Black has got milk, chocolate and biscuit here. Very nice. Oh, you got your timeout. For some reason, I thought you had a timeout bar. You only go pucks now.
Yeah. It's the only way forwards. Pucks.
Individually
They
wrapped.
fit my pocket easily.
Yeah.
I have to worry
You're
about
just
it.
tossing them around.
Yeah, I can roll it to you if you,
You can
want
throw
one.
it to your mates.
Exactly.
Across
Like
over the track.
Like a frisbee.
In fact, you need an extra little disc as well. Like, Levi says Project Motor Racing 2.0 is a step in the right direction from what I can tell when I played it. Dan Loki as well. Sam's been playing it.
I have.
I've been playing it.
Night and day better than last time I drove it. Which, for all clarity, was a long time ago.
So for perfect clarity, Sam's last time playing it was behind closed doors in Germany at the Sim Racing Expo. And I think that's a really important perspective to have because you've been insulated from like a lot of the purported improvements they've made until you played it here. Because at many stages, Project Motor Racing have said, we fixed it, this update fixes it.
And then nothing.
And then, and people are like, no, it hasn't. So they came. The first update they did, if I remember, was 1.5.0, which was a bit weird, going straight to 1.5.
Yeah.
It's also a bit weird now they've jumped to 2.0. Again, it's like, it is, I think, over-promising. However, your perspective is interesting because last time you played it, I think it was really not a good experience.
It was not a good, exactly like you said. Although, like I said, I was playing it, or like you said, we were playing it hour ago. From what I remember, really nice updates to it. It's like I can actually control the car a bit
Yeah.
now. It doesn't feel like it's two separate cars, which was like my main gripe with it.
I think the two separate car things. You had to push me. I reckon it was tyre temps.
You reckon?
I reckon because the rears and what we were doing were just heating up unnaturally. So they clearly made. Let's not. Maybe we want to make a video about it at some point, but they clearly messed up in that Sim Expo build with the way that the rear tyres were heating up.
Yeah, because it was unreal.
It was you were 100 centigrade before you knew it, and then you're going 120, 104. I think I peaked at 175 or something like that, and then your front are ice cold or not overheated that much.
Yeah, and then when you turn in, obviously the front's got no grip, the rear's got loads of grip.
Well, or you're ironically like the rears have no grip because you've massively the temperature
Because
so
they've overheated. Then.
overheated.
Okay.
So therefore, it feels like you're just on like a massive pendulum that you can't feel because you turn in and your rears have no grip. So they really messed something up there, and I reckon a lot of what they've done is just kind of fixing the time
Just
model.
tyre model.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was actually quite impressed with them. I only played Line Rock in the old Porsches.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a broad experience
Yeah.
as much, but it was nice. However, how to explain it? Obviously, like a hands off. Like as soon as I got hit by an AI, it snagged.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's the setting on the wheelbase or game setting, but
No, the contact is still weird.
Yeah. Okay.
The combination of the contact being weird, but also the AI making lots of contact with you is not good.
Yeah, it's like they looked. It's like they looked at me. It's like, yep.
Yeah.
Straight in.
It's certainly a very different experience to iRacing. I would say that MX-5. Obviously, in iRacing, you don't have visible temps.
No, you just have numbers.
But Project Motor Racing, when we drove it in Germany, would be impossible to drive without visible tyre temperatures.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how what they've done. I don't know if you saw there was more stuff on the
In the bottom right, there's a lot more stuff.
yeah ECU. The whole powertrain shows now. Again, I think
Aero damage. I saw something top right. It's like aero. I'm guessing that's if I had damage.
I think they also show you like where kilowatt is being deployed on what parts. No,
Okay.
Yeah. So through the drivetrain, which is like crazy. Levi been playing it since day one. Now it felt much better. Let us know more about that. Welcome BCR Esports as well. This isn't just about our view. We're just kind of like talking from our perspective, but it's really about your perspectives. But yeah, the UI is kind of cluttered now. But I agree. I agree that fundamentally, like now you can actually have a good experience driving.
Yes, for sure.
And then you might look at the car list and say, oh, actually, it's interesting to drive the Silk Cut Jaguar, or it's interesting to drive the MOZA. So because they have these great, the 787B, because they've got these classic
What
cars.
car?
Yeah. But previously you were like, I don't even want to drive any more cars because it's not fun.
Yep.
So, welcome SB. PMR Stand Edition is 43% off from PS5 till April 8th. How much is that coming to then in dollars and pounds? Let me know the absolute price and I can let you know recommendation.
That's
yes or no.
super cheap. It's got to be.
Well, I'm surprised that they haven't marketed that with 2.0, and I'm surprised it's not a permanent price cut. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm surprised it's not a permanent price cut. I think if they came out with 2.0 and said, "Hey guys, now it's $30," because it.
Yeah, but then they kind of. It's hard because I'm assuming if you bought the original one, the updates are free.
Not DLCs, no, unless you got
Not
season pass.
DLCs, but like
Yeah,
this update, which
Yeah.
you've done for this. Okay.
I mean,
But
that'd
then you'd be
insane.
kind of mugged off. You feel like you'd be mugged off, paid full price at the start.
Well, that's what's happening with Rensport. Rensport, and they're not calling it 2.0, they're calling it their new whatever it is.
Yeah.
They might even call it 2.0, I can't remember, but they're saying it's double the content, half the price, and they're having a permanent price cut. They're in a bit more of an unusual position because that game was originally kind of free to play, so it seems a bit weird. What happened with Project Motor Racing is that it was not branded early access at the beginning. The more they talk about how good 2.0 is, the more the flip side of that coin is that, it was basically early access then when it came out. I don't know if you noticed,
They've got like an excuse baked in already.
yeah,
for saying
but the more they're a bit hamstrung by it because the more they talk up how 2.0 has improved things, what you just said about someone feeling mugged off, those people are going to feel mugged off at the beginning that, hey, I bought this at
yeah,
full
I
price.
bought this. You told me it was going to be a good
Yeah.
game, and then this is what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the UI as well, like in the menus. It's a
No,
bit,
I was only in that one screen.
it's a bit slick. In fact, the game, when you boot up the game looks completely different.
Okay.
You won't have spent too much time in the menus previously, but they're kind of janky. Now they've completely changed it. Part of me is like whether that was a design decision to be like, look, we need people to feel like it's completely 2.0, so therefore visually the game has to look completely
So
different.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Really. Like a new season,
yeah.
essentially.
Blitzkrieg Bev says, I'm loving Project Motor Racing. Let us know what you're loving about it. Dan Loki agree they don't feel like boats like they did originally. And SB100 saying it's now $39.89. I mean, there's a lot of content here for $39. I think there's about 70 cars, if I remember. It's funny that 70 cars is a lot now because in Gran Turismo and Forza's heyday, that was kind of, they're getting hundreds of cars.
But nowadays, not so much.
Yeah.
Although you look at iRacing, they've got about 100 cars.
Well, it costs a lot to get all of that.
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Levi, the price on the PlayStation Store is going to vary differently between player and player since now PlayStation went to dynamic pricing. I think they've been trialing dynamic pricing. I don't think it's a widely rolled out thing. Dan saying 2 should have been release build. So here's the question that we can both answer to the best of our knowledge, but we can try and answer it. Would it have been better for Project Motor Racing to have launched with the build that you played today?
From the build I just played then, and from what I played in Germany, it seems such a completely different game that it almost feels like they've rushed it. It's like, this is our release date. Oh crap, we're nowhere near ready.
Yeah.
Oh, we still got to throw something out.
And
it would have been better for them, reputation wise. To say, look guys, sorry, here's another 3 months wait. This is going to be much better.
There's 2 ways to look at that. But I would say, going back to Germany, I sensed a feeling of panic. Like people running around almost like, oh, the model's outputted this. Like, how are we going to... How has that happened?
Yeah.
Because I think there was a time when the tyres were too cold or something, and they went change time of day and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all complete madness.
Yeah, that was kind of... That stuff should have been happening months before release, not a few days before release. But going back to your point about... it'll be better now. That's going to depend on how people see the game now. Like, for some people, the game might not be good enough now, still compared to say LME or AC or iRacing, because that bar is so high. I think the bar that has been reached, in my opinion, is that now I can drive the game.
Yeah, and that's the first.
Yeah, the first.
It's like a little child step, little baby steps we're taking. But we can get a car round, which is nice.
The second hurdle is like, right, well, is it worth your money over LMU or ACC?
Well, the other hurdle as well is the people who bought it originally and then returned it.
Yeah.
Are they going to come back?
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Or are they now just like, no, stop this, I don't want to get.
That's a great point. Let us know in the chat if anyone bought it and returned it. Blitzkrieg, well, here we go. Blitzkrieg pre-order Project Motor Racing. Have stuck with it since. I'm loving the graphics, online racing, and physics. Really happy it's becoming what I was looking for. Let us know more specifics about kind of what you've noticed in the graphics. Is it frame rate? I haven't done any new online racing. Let us know how that's going. Like, I understand that you still have to wait to queue for the lobby. It's a bit annoying. But let us know. Levi, I would have understood if they delayed the game versus putting a broken game out. I'm not really sure, given that there were prevalent refunds. I'm not sure if in hindsight it was the right thing to do.
I can't see it being.
Even though they would have got money in.
Yeah, but then also, like I said, with the vast amount of people who refunded, they're probably never going to look at it again. So they'll lose money in the long run.
Dan Loke says, for me on console, it's now a good alternative to GT7. That's a great question. That obviously Lime Rock Park's not in GT7. The Mazdas are, but no one's really driving Mazdas in Gran Turismo like you do in iRacing. Yeah. When you drive a Mazda,
what about stuff like that Porsche? Is that in Gran Turismo?
The 994. Those cars don't feel that good in Gran Turismo, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny, like Gran Turismo for me is the best when you take ironically like a road car, like my Peugeot RCZ, or like take a Civic or something like that, and tune it a bit and kind of feel the body roll. I think that's where Gran Turismo is strongest. When you take an actual race spec car, I don't think it translates that well in Gran Turismo, in my opinion. I would say driving an MX-5 in iRacing is like, wow.
Yeah.
Having raced
this is close.
Yeah, having raced MX-5 as well, because it's a lot of the same feelings. Like the car feels alive. Even though we would look at an MX-5 next to a Ferrari or a Porsche or whatever and feel like it's got no power, when you're actually racing it there, it's like, wow, and this is difficult.
It's got no electric aids, does it?
Yeah. So it feels alive, maybe is the best word. So I think again here, like I would say the MX-5 has more depth of handling in Project Motor Racing than Gran Turismo. However, the hypercars and the GT3s, I'm not sure. And when LMU does come to, and we discussed this last time in Sim Racing Show Live, LMU they say is coming.
Well, it was 27.
They say they said mid 27, which I translate as late 27. That's quite a long time ago. But when that comes,
That will
do numbers.
Yeah, but then also you'd fully expect, if given 2 years' notice,
Yeah.
you'd expect that game to already started being worked on.
Yeah.
Console, and keep being improved.
I think it's a
2
good
years.
sign that Le Mans Ultimate are doing financial reports now and saying, guys, we're pushing it back a little bit, because that shows seriousness of recognition of the task there.
Yeah.
And they've obviously curated LME quite well on PC. Blitzkrieg said the colour saturation, night lighting is amazing. Bathurst at night, following cars in the rain now realistic. It does have I feel like Project Motor Racing, if they'd released it, it's so weird that when we went to Germany, we drove like the AMG GT3, and we drove, I think, the Porsche Cup car, the Porsche GT3, one of them. That's on a really dull day at Hockenheim and Silverstone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did Silverstone and it was just
really dull. Was actually the best driving that Porsche you just did on the Nordschleife at night time
would be great.
in rain is great. And there's so many uses now for this timeout thing. But yeah, so I agree with the Blitzkrieg, Bev, that I think Project Motor Racing is strong when it's kind of more emotive. And actually, the more they talk about hypercars and GT3s, they're not. I know you've got the Valkyrie, but they're not like emotive cars really.
Yeah.
Not like the cars back in the day.
Yeah, they all kind of sound exactly the same. They all pretty much look similar, like apart from the Valkyrie, like you said.
Lou says £31 on PS Store. Off topic, but anyone know when Endurance Motorsport Series is about to release? It's never off topic in the Sim Racing Show Live.
Is that the 2-player one?
That's the
manager, but
the manager, yeah. So let me know, Lou, if you've seen my interviews with the developer, because I did actually release them. A lot of people asked about it, so I released it. It's on YouTube. That's meant to be coming out soon, but Nacon are going through some financial difficulties like we saw with FANATEC. So credit to them, I guess, for not rushing it, because they also delayed that game.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about that game, and I have played that game on controller, played it on wheel. They say now that game is not a sim. They've actually done a press release saying this is not. We want to get out of the door, not a sim.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty
Is that
sensible.
because they saw how slated PMR got? Possibly.
Well, there's a really interesting point about PMR, but I think firstly, just taking them on their own face of it, I think that's a really smart move.
Yeah.
Because any criticism on launch day, like, oh, it's not a sim, that's on the
well,
reviewers'
they never
fault.
said it was going to be. Yeah.
Some reviewers might review that game and not have seen that press release, and going to look pretty silly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, what you said about Project Motor Racing, I thought Project Motor Racing could go in two directions. I thought it can be like Gran Turismo, but a bit more in depth on console, or it can be a pure sim. And I thought the more it goes to pure sim, the more niche it's going to become. Interestingly, with what the stuff on the screen, like the ECU and the powertrain and this kind of stuff, it feels like they're leaning into going more sim. And when we spoke to the developers, the people who make the engine, I feel like that's where their natural home is, because they're proper nerdy about that kind of
I was
stuff.
going to say, that guy I spoke to, based down in Kent,
Yeah.
he was a complete.
In a good way.
Yeah. No slating at all. Like, he really was interested in everything which we had to say, all the feedback we gave and stuff like that.
They weren't sort of like people who understand the market first, like what do people want to play first.
Yeah, no, they wanted to make the
best simulator they can.
Yeah.
So two different ways of doing it. I think Gran Turismo and Sony and PlayStation are very smart, understanding who's the person that's going to sit down on their couch with a controller.
When you're on game number 7,
you
have no idea.
You say that these guys.
It's more than 7, really, isn't it?
Yeah, chat. Let us know in the comments here. GTR, GTR 2, Need for Speed Shift 1, Need for Speed Shift 2, Project Motor Racing 1, Project Motor Racing 2, Project Motor Racing 3. Don't let anyone forget that. That's 8 games already. It's actually a nice. They've done more games than Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo's done more than 7.
Well, A-Spec and everything, Tourist Trophy. Chat, can anyone verify? Can someone fact check that? I think the team behind Project Motor Racing have done more racing games than Polyphony. And also, Polyphony's 1997 was Gran Turismo 1, 97. Yeah. I'm pretty sure GTR or Sim by Simbin or whatever it was back then, I'm pretty sure that came out in very early 2000s. I remember reading about that game. Welcome, McGurkin. Endurance Motorsports may not be released. I understand that it is going to be released. If you have something that close to release, it doesn't benefit anyone from not releasing it, because you have creditors and they'll want to get some money in the door for everything they've invested. It's a bit like if, let's say, you paid someone a load of money to make a house, and the house is basically done but just needs windows. you're still going to sell the house to someone to recognise that money, which is kind of where they were. Yeah, prologue as well. But I think, depending on how you count the prologues and everything, I think that the Project Motor Racing people...
Oh, GT Sport. What was that?
That's true. So you got 8, then A-Spec 9...
Prologue.
Gran Turismo PSP 10. But I might have miscounted some from the Project Motor Racing people. Chat, someone do the research there and let us know. Dan, I wish they kept it as GT Revival game with no LMDH or GT. But this is exactly what I've been saying. So Project Motor Racing was originally called GT Revival. Now, when I say the word GT Revival, what do you think?
When you say that, I would be thinking 70s, 80s sort of cars.
I think Goodwood Revival.
Yeah, exactly.
I think cars of that ilk actually racing on track. And by the way, that means you have to have Goodwood in there if you've got GT Revival. But at some point, it changed to Project Motor Racing, and it's got the whole IMSA spec.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone seemed to be pushing IMSA everything, which I've got no issue with. I enjoy driving GT3s and stuff like that, so I've got no issue with all the games having GT3s in it. But there's nowhere specifically like a revival game like cars from 60s, 70s. Yeah, most games have the odd one or two, but it'd be cool to race Group C's, like the Le Mans Group C. So the whole selection of it.
The thing is, you can do that in Project Motor Racing. You can go to Silverstone and you can drive Group C's at night. I've done it. It's amazing. They all sound different. Big rear tyres, spitting flames out the back. But if you take 100 people and give them Project Motor Racing, and then at the end of their first hour of playing, how many of those 100 are going to have experienced that? None. They've all done GT3s and IMSA, which is a bad experience. So let's follow the money for a little bit. If you take the old cars, so the Silk Cup, the 787B, and all those great cars, how does the money work? Those are cars in private collectors' hands. I guess you go as a team. I guess you scan it, and whether they really license sponsorship, I don't know, because Silverstone is called Northampton, so it seems like they haven't licensed Silverstone, but it's in the game. Maybe we apply that same theory to the
like what was the football game? The other one, not FIFA.
Pro
Evo, that teams like that.
But so there's not a lot of money need to exchange hands there. With IMSA, I don't know. There's loads of modern sponsors on those cars. There's loads of modern manufacturers.
Yeah.
There's a whole machine about IMSA and everything. Are IMSA paying to get this in? And therefore Project Motor Racing are taking some money?
That's what I said about with iRacing. Who's paying what on the billboards? Are they just there? It's part of track property. Are SIMUCUBE paying for it? Or iRacing paying SIMUCUBE?
Well, for example, with Laguna Seca is now off free rotation in iRacing, RIP, because the license deal has expired.
Okay.
So to me, that indicates that iRacing are paying Laguna Seca for that.
Yeah.
But I think there's some cars that get added to games. Like I saw, I don't have any inside knowledge on this, but I saw the Hyundai 74 has been added to Rennsport. Such an unusual car for Rennsport. I wouldn't surprise me if Hyundai it's a marketing deal. Yeah.
No, and that makes sense to me.
So who is paying? Given that we think IMSA and GT3 has really hurt Project Motor Racing, I think Project Motor Racing would have been a much better game. As we've said, it's all historic stuff. It lends more to a story as well a little bit because it makes more coherent sense. Like maybe you're a revival driver or something, and you want to collect driving all of the best car, all the classic cars.
Yeah, but then you need like a dedicated career mode.
I know, but it makes more coherent sense because Project Motor Racing has a career mode, but it's like you do Project Motor Racing career mode, and I'm going to be a GT3 driver or an IMSA driver. Because those are the careers that happen in reality now. Whereas if they were all classic cars, there's some interesting stuff you could do. Like maybe you get friendly with the benefactors or whatever, and you go to these classic car meets. Maybe there's really interesting old school multi-class and stuff like that. And I think, in any event, I think that would have been a better game. But GT3 and IMSA are in. I think that's hurt Project Motor Racing. I don't think GT3 and IMSA has helped Project Motor Racing. Let me know in the chat if you disagree. So therefore, why are they in the game? Who made that decision?
I think they're in the game because every game has it.
So they think they need to.
Yeah, it's almost expected to have GT3 in a racing game nowadays. I would say. Majority of people, that is what... I don't want to say 95 because everyone would say I'm wrong and they don't play it and stuff like that. 80% of the people playing racing games now are going to be GT3s, GT4s.
Chat, let us know what you think in chat. Write your comments in there. We'll do a poll as well. I'll get to your comments as well, Man City and Lou as well. But let's just throw a poll up here. I guess Project Motor Racing 2.0. Is it redemption? Yes or no? Let us know. So, Man City Diehard saying, "Hey guys, I bought Project Motor Racing on console when it came out. It's just absolutely horrendous. Was worse than Forza Motorsport, and I haven't touched it since. All the reviews are on PC. I certainly haven't reviewed it on console, unlike Rensport, which I played on console. I did ask the guys there for keys, but I think things were going so badly, everything was on fire. But it's a very good point. If I remember, on Xbox in particular, wheels didn't really work, which has kind of been brushed under the carpet. Man City, should I give it another try? Is it just about on console? If you can return it, maybe worth it, but I would wait to see some footage on console because, you know, and this is again, it's like
have all the updates come out at the same time? So PC update and console update.
I think they've come historically for the Motor Racing. They've been there's been some delays on console.
Okay.
Because they can push them through on PC, especially on the Giants launcher whenever they want.
Yeah.
Actually.
Compared to on the Sony, they got to go through Sony, I guess.
Exactly. Okay. There's some very interesting things about modding as well, because Project Motor Racing is very big on modding, and I think that was.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that.
Well, two sides of the coin. Firstly, great to have mods. Okay. So the other side of it, when the game was released and was reviewed terribly, there were some people at Project Motor Racing saying, "Oh, well, it'll just be modded."
Yeah.
And that's like, well, the community will do it for free. Now, the problem with that is on console, you can't just mod stuff on console because it all needs to be approved. So at some point, again, we know they're playing a little bit fast and loose with the rules with the way that Northampton's in and Silverstone isn't. So we'll have to see what's going on with the modding there, because maybe they'll really try and facilitate the modding to get around the system.
I was going to say, if you do a mod, you can just name it Silverstone.
Yeah, exactly.
Surely.
And how's Silverstone going to feel about that? Lots of comments coming in. Lou saw the interviews. I'm a console controller player. Was put off getting Project Motor Racing on release. With this update and at £31, is it worth getting on controller? Well, Man City Diehard, how did you find it on controller at the beginning? I can't speak on controller because I'm not playing it on controller actually. So I really can't speak on it. I may have played it on controller in my live streams. You'd have to look back, but from recollection, I really haven't tried it on controller. Mac Boland says, I definitely would want to drive GT3. Mike only does rally. Well, we've got some rally news coming up later as well. Blitzkrieg, I'm on PS5 and it's been butter smooth today.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, tell us more about the improvements. Was it a bit jerky before, but now you're getting 60? And Simba says, absolutely agree. GT3 is just so accessible to even non-sim races and it's getting even more popular. Maybe Project Motor Racing should ask Max to test theirs for pure marketing. Could go both ways. Yeah.
It definitely could go both ways.
High risk strategy. We know where he destroyed the Le Mans Virtual in one moment, basically. He hasn't come back since. Although I understand the Le Mans Virtual is coming back this year.
Okay.
Because Le Mans is June? May or June, Le Mans?
When's Silverstone? Oh no, that's Mon.
Yeah, but I think it's around. I'd love to go actually. By the way, Sam and myself, we're going to the track on Friday.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I almost announced
a bit taken by surprise there.
Yeah, we're going to the track on Friday. We're going to be
not Le Mans, by the way.
Not Le Mans. It's called the Le Mans of England, and we're going to be driving
I've never heard that before.
We're going to be driving. Who is it who calls Kerber the Kerberg-Ring?
No idea. Anyway,
we're not going to Kerber either, but we're going to be tracking my Peugeot RCZ. So there'll be lots of content around that because I know it's been a lot of people like it on the channel. People have fun with it, but that's getting some pads tomorrow and some fluids, and then it's going to get sent around Castle Combe on Friday. So, what do you think, Sam? How's that going to go?
I'm interested to know how much sending is going to be done, but also I want enough warning that if you're going to send it, I'm not in the car because it could be terrifying.
You'll have your helmet, right?
Yeah, because I'm going to clay, but I'll have my stuff. But I will be terrified because I'm not a great passenger.
Yeah,
as you know from when we've been before, I tend to drive everywhere because
in the Cupra.
Even the Cupra I drove, and when you drove it, I hated every single second of it. I'm not a great passenger, so this could be even worse for me.
This sounds like great content.
Well, just me like, I hate this.
So my main question is, should I be redlining it?
Yeah, everywhere. Why not?
Okay.
And I'll have my own car there, so even if you blow up your car, I can just drive home.
I guess I'll be a Top Gear thing. I'll be stood there. Yeah, great idea for Simba getting Max involved. Dan Loki, for what it's worth, I have it on PS5 Pro with a T598 and I haven't touched G7 since Power Pack. Just prefer racing and Project Motor Racing, although wish it had Sophie AI lol. Maybe Gran Turismo could license that out. Force feedback feels great, especially NGT. Yeah, they did say to me that NGT is where they're really trying to improve things. I'm not sure you drove on an NGT, but they're like BMW M3, older Porsche like Carrera stuff like that, like quite fun cars to drive. Blitzkrieg is in New Zealand, and my online race day has been flawless with lagging, no strutting, and no game crashing before ranked lobbies. Very nice. Black is happy about Friday. Yeah, so Friday I'm doing the track day, and then Friday evening I'm doing a meet and greet. I'm not sure I've announced it yet, but I'm doing a meet and greet on Friday. In Birmingham at the NEC at DreamHack with Logitech G. Well, I think there'll be some giveaways as well. I think it's going to be I'm going to set a time and I'm going to try and help people beat my time. And if you beat my time, you get entered into a draw to win something. So,
are you going to sandbag so everyone beats your time?
I asked,
or are you going to say right now that you're sandbag?
I'm going to be honest. I asked them. I said, "Do you want me to sandbag?" And they said no.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I can fall off the track, and they were like, no. So I think maybe what I suggested would make a mockery of their equipment or something.
So you basically heard it here first. If you beat KIRETH'S time, he's rubbish.
Yeah, it's going to be a genuine beat my time thing. So I don't know what they're going to have, Gran Turismo or Forza or something. It should be fun. Levi says 2.0 is yes and no. What? I haven't even spoken about Madrid. I was in Madrid a couple of days ago with Taylor Barnard. Let us know in the chat if you've seen my stuff with Taylor Barnard. Who we spoke about. Oh, I spent some time with Zach O'Sullivan.
Okay.
So Zach O'Sullivan. Very interesting.
Was he the Barbados? No, he's not.
No, that's Zane Maloney.
That's wrong.
Zach O'Sullivan's a rookie in Formula E, so he's quite young. What was Super 1 before?
Super 1 was the original.
What did it turn? Did it change the name?
It changed to Weira Tools.
Yeah, he did Weira Tools. He did CIK stuff, all that, going to Italy and all that stuff. 14.
Yeah.
Guess where he goes? What would you? So, as someone who wants to get into Formula 1, what would you recommend they do at 14?
He probably went to 14.
Yeah.
We went to Saxos and stuff like that.
Very interesting. Okay, so you went to Netta Juniors.
Oh, so not far off.
Yeah, not far off. Why would you say that? To get some car experience?
Yeah, because there's a series junior tin top. I can't remember his proper name. They let them race at 14.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think there's many which allow.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what he said. He's like, I just wanted to get rather than he was getting a bit too tall for karting and stuff like that. So he went to Netta Juniors, and at the moment,
a lot did that. Like
really?
Abby Pulliam went to Janetta Juniors. Lowe's done it.
You drove the junior? You drove
I've driven, yeah, I say the adult. The non-junior ones.
Yeah.
Which is fun, but a lot of drivers actually, when they move up, and because the Janettas tend to run over the winter as well, they can get their ARS license and come off their car novice plates for the main season.
That must be really interesting driving.
I'm pretty sure Lando did it.
Must be. Have a check. It must be interesting driving a Saxo or Janetta Junior as a 14-year-old because you're not driving on the road.
Yeah.
So your introduction to driving a car is on a racetrack. It's really interesting.
No, if I imagine these people a lot like my son and can just drive a road car because you tend to spend a lot of time in big empty paddocks.
So they're driving in car parks.
Driving in car parks.
Okay, that's where we're getting inside line with Sam. And now he's doing, get this, Super GT in Japan.
Nice.
And Super Formula.
In Japan?
Seems to be coming to do both. And he's a Formula E reserve driver. And I think if you search Zach O'Sullivan afterwards, I reckon he's done some F1 testing as well.
I reckon he's also got a lot of backing.
Yeah, I don't know who's backing it, but he's backed. And also I spent some time with Ella Lloyd, who's in F1 Academy.
There you go. Yeah, Lando did do Janetta Juniors. Most of them do Janetta Juniors.
And then you go to F4. Yeah, I think he said he went to F4 as well.
Because you can do it when you're so young.
He said he went to whatever GB3 is now.
F3.
Okay. See that? What we're talking about here...
Look how mad they look.
Yeah, what we're talking about here is what a racing game career should look like, in my opinion.
Karts, Janetta Juniors.
Start with karts, yeah. Go to Janetta Juniors. And something like Project Motor Racing, all it would need to do is add some F3s, add some F2s, and add some Formula cars, and then you can do that whole pathway. And I would love to have a bit more. I'd love if games had a bit more confidence about a career mode. They're like, No, you're not going to start the game and drive whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, you got to.
You're going to start in the
work
car.
your way
yeah,
up.
you're going to work. It's almost like the games don't have the confidence to do that. Especially the early access games, because they want to get feedback on all the cars. It makes sense that you have like open modes. But Project Motor Racing ostensibly launched as a full game, and it should have had the confidence. It sounds like in reality it was really an early access game, so they needed people to drive all the cars to get feedback, which ruined the career.
Background testing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I misread that.
Levi said 2.0 is yes and no, and what came out today should have been day one, and there were still tweaks that need to happen. But it's more playable day one, and the AI have calmed down. They don't pit as before. When I was playing, the AI were kind of like taking me out. Black, we're talking about this Friday, the 27th. Yeah, and there's also Japan as well. So, Formula
That's
1.
That's very busy for you.
Yeah. Tell you what, because I'm going to be on the road 6 a.m. Maybe I'll get up super early and do
Japan.
Hang on, when's Japan?
I don't know.
It's not a sprint weekend, is it? So
I don't know what time Japan is.
I have to work it out. Man City Die Hard. I actually tried Project Motor Racing when it came out on my Xbox. On my FANATEC board, it just felt weird. Never tried controller. But Gurkin, I really like your Taylor Barden interview. You seem like a really nice lad. Pretty candid with his answers. Happy to be there talking with you. Yeah, it's great to see a motorsport driver who's just like a full sim racer.
Yeah.
And getting an
Someone who's happy to talk about, and it's not like part of their job.
What you just said
for their fun.
Happier to talk about sim racing than anything else. So if I'm just saying, hey, let's just talk about what your rig is, and he's running SIMUCUBE T Pro, like I am, active pedals, like I am, and he's running an ASCHER wheel, like I am, but actually he says he prefers a precision engineering wheel, which I've never really heard of.
No,
precision
same.
engineering, then like a UK like boutique.
Oh, nice.
2 a.m. practice. Okay, that's gonna be
great fun for
tricky,
you.
yeah. I'll have to work it out. Mantis saying the last few updates of the game felt the same and not good. ACC and Forza felt better. Is Forza even alive now? I mean, May's coming out. That's Forza Horizon 6. That's going to be a killer game. But yeah, Forza Motorsport, not sure. Do you know if it's easier to join populated lobbies? It's only custom lobbies that have multiple players, but they're always password blocked. I don't know. That's going to be a key thing for the game. Same with Rensport and Project Motor Racing. Join lobbies. Make sure you hit the like button, everyone. I think 125 likes. What's the target for today? I think 100 likes.
You think 100 likes?
Yeah, we've got 52 people watching. Chat, everyone hit the like button. Everyone smash the like button right now.
I'll even do it myself.
There we go, 26 likes. And I'm just going to check in on the poll as well. Project Motor Racing 2.0, is it redemption? Yes, it's 43%. But no, currently leading on 57%.
That's about right, what I thought.
Man City saying WRC 23 is the best feeling game on Xbox on my fantasy setup. Interesting. That's still that's the EA one, isn't it? It's funny that EA did one WRC game. They're like, nah, we're done. WRC coming back to the UK next year.
Great. In Wales again?
I'm not sure it's Wales.
Oh really?
WRC is coming back. Does anyone know? Man City Die Hard probably knows. Don't forget clocks go back this weekend. That would really mess me up. Hang on. That's Sunday, right? That's going to mess me up for the F1.
Forwards.
Does that help me for the Formula 1?
Forwards.
Is that good for me for Formula 1? If I've got to be up like at 5 a.m. on Sunday for Formula 1, am I actually up at 4? Am I actually up at 6? I'm up at 4. It's messing me up. I think it's messing me up.
It's something. I know it's forwards, so 12. No, well, they changed at 1, don't they? So 1 a.m. is actually 2 a.m.
Black says quality at 6 a.m. race 2 plus daylight savings. What do we get? Is it a good? What do we get? Do we get more sunshine? Is it morning's good?
Yeah, we get more sun.
Is morning's good as well? Is it just all good?
This is the one you want.
Yeah.
And then the October one is like...
So why did we do the other one?
It was to do with the war.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's to do with the war, so they can do more farming hours.
Okay. Oh, but why though? Oh, as in they moved it forward.
Yeah, so you get more daylight.
Oh, okay. So really, we should stop going back.
Stay to this one
okay,
and just go to it. But yeah, I'm probably completely wrong, and some history person is going to tell me. I'm pretty sure it came in.
So do we get shorter evenings a little bit? Do we get better?
We'll get shorter evenings now, but because obviously the way it's going,
yeah,
eventually we'll end up with longer evenings.
Welcome to 1101. Welcome O Friendly as well. Lose an hour in bed. Manchester says supposedly Aberdeen in 2027. Oh, this is the WRC. WRC
in Scotland.
Aberdeen.
Wow.
Because is it Elfie? Who's the guy who's is he Welsh? The guy who's
Most of good rally drivers are Welsh.
yeah. I was looking. It's basically you want to be in a Toyota right now. You want to be in the GR.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like one Hyundai.
I was going to say, what is it? Hyundai. I'm guessing Ford.
I think there is a Puma. Yeah.
A Puma.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I think you want to be in the GR Yaris. I think Ogier's in the Yaris. Yeah, Evans.
Any Citroens? Or
I don't think there are any Citroens. I mean, from going from Domination, was it who was it? Not Kovalainen. Was that a Finnish driver? It was Domination.
Kovalainen.
No, it was some. I think the rally fans in chat will know. Manchester has Toyota dominates, but I love the Hyundai. They just had Kenya. Okay. They just had Kenya, and it was amazing because it was like some of it was absolute swamp. So like they were going through swamp, and like it was just absolutely messing up the cars. It was going in the windshield.
And now it's all dust, and then they went to dust.
And then they went to dust, yeah. And then they go back to kind of do redo stages and whatnot. So yeah, Kenya was really exciting. I just feel like WRC need to, with stuff like drones, you can really revolutionise how you.
Yeah, but they use helicopters, don't they? So
I know, but it's more expensive having a helicopter. Yeah, they can't follow all the cars because they're staggered.
Yeah, but how far can a drone go?
Well, I think a long way now. Drone technology seems to be advancing very quickly. So I feel like that you could cover WRC in a much better way, and I feel like WRC because of the way it works, where you can like follow a stage and you see a load of drivers go. So even the stage for the drivers isn't super long actually. But watching it can be a long experience. I think that's a bit of an antidote to short
it's like
media.
Golf.
Yeah, it's kind of maybe like golf. Yeah.
It's like golf.
You just have it on.
It takes you 4 hours for you to do.
Yeah.
But if you're there to watch the whole tournament, it's a 12-hour day.
Manchester says, make a comeback, Subaru.
They don't make a car small enough.
I think Subaru have released the new silhouette for the new one, right? And it does it's not a hatchback.
They don't make a car small enough at the moment.
Okay, because the WRC regs are all...
I don't know anything about
I think it might be the
regs,
Corolla.
But if you actually look at them, like the WRCs, like the Hyundais, they're all small hatchbacks. Subaru don't do a small hatchback. Come
on, Subaru. The one says, is Rennsport dead, by the way? Well, I know they delayed their big update that I went to Germany and played with the Porsche 911 GT1 and the Mercedes CLK.
Is that where Steve watched you eating pizza?
No, that was a long time ago. It was a similar event, though. It was a similar...
Oh, the one a month ago. Okay, got
in a circle. Welcome, Yappy, Matt Tyler, 6421. I just joined. Is it good for PS5 FANATEC DD+? We don't really know on console. We don't really know. Mike says they lost me with the stupid plastic flares. That WRC.
I'm guessing it's WRC still.
As in, you're not allowed to have. Is it because you're not allowed to have flames? I guess they've got flares now that are just illuminated things. I'm guessing.
Literally no idea.
But you know what I'm
like
saying?
track markers?
No, you know, like in the fans with light flares, like at Monaco and everything, for WRC, Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're not allowed to do that now for pyro. I'm guessing they just have sticks that have like a light on it. That's what I'm guessing. Let me know. The fact they don't make a hatchback is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like WRC just clearly doesn't quite have the reach to get a load of manufacturers in there. They put plastic fender flares. Okay.
Oh, like a wide arch kit.
Okay. I like my idea though. I guess.
I was going to say I've never heard anything quite like what you were just saying. Then I was like, okay, let's disagree. So the wide arch kits.
BCR Esports just updated DDS fixed G7 disconnect issues. Very nice. Let's have a look at the other news for the week. So let's get on rally. I've got some rally news here. So I'm going to update topic, and I want to hear thoughts on this because we're going to be driving the Peugeot on Friday, and big hints being dropped by ASETEK Corsa Rally developers. 90s Peugeot and Subaru coming to ASETEK Corsa Rally. So
90s Peugeot be a 205 Ti6. What I would guess.
Was it a 306?
306 was early 2000s.
Yeah. Which one would it be?
It's got to be a 205 Ti6.
The boxy looking one. I thought.
Yeah. That'd be the.
That's earlier, wasn't it?
No, 205 is the boxy one with like the dimmer wide arch kit.
And then the Subaru. What we're thinking? Classic Impreza.
Classic. Lucky. The
WRX or whatever.
Yeah, but what was the sponsor? Lucky Strike
with the crescent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
can't remember what the hell it was.
I could draw it for you.
I could draw it exactly for you, but
Dan Loki says, I gave up EAWRC with a non-existent tarmac physics. I imagine most people are on ASETEK Corsa Rally now.
Yeah.
In fact, Mike saying, I love AC Rally so far. I'm glad there'll be an alternative to Rally 2.0. I wish ASETEK Corsa Rally and Evo will be on PlayStation real soon. I think there's no real timeline on that coming to console. We've played it. Obviously, we played it at launch or before launch.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing the Monte Carlo update. I really like it, and I've got my shifter now.
You have.
So yeah.
On the wrong hand.
Well, no, because I. What do you mean on the wrong hand? Not if I'm driving a right-hand drive car.
But they're not.
Are they not? None of them.
None of them. They're all left-hand drive.
Really?
Yeah. Look at most racing cars.
So I know when they interview them, they always interview the driver on the left. Yeah.
Look at most racing cars. They're all left-hand drive.
Okay, well, not my Peugeot racing car.
No.
That is right-hand drive.
I mean, racing car is a bit of a stretch there.
We'll find out. What do you think I'm going to be... obviously, it's a track day, you're not really racing. What do you think I'm going to be racing against? What type of cars?
12.5.
Really?
No. Let's be full of Fiestas with pop bang maps and stuff like that.
I get past the noise testing and then they...
And they press the button.
Yeah.
They got pop bangs. It'll be stuff like that. Fiestas. Couple of Beamers.
I won't be beating any BMWs, though, will
No. Well, it depends on the driver, really, but I'd be amazed if you did.
I? BCR Esports says the 306 was a kit car in Dirt Rally. Yeah, McGurk says 205 T60 could be the Marcus Gronholm 206.
No, 206 is after.
I think the hint was 90s Peugeot. What BHP to Peugeot 200s? I think probably need to get it on a dyno and see how many have stayed.
How much of that French lines are still there?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see on my brakes. I think I've got the 340mm brakes, so I think the brakes are actually quite decent. Just a bit worried about.
I'll film you from outside the car. You keep saying I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that.
Well, no, I am. I'm concerned about. I have concerns. It's a bit.
I have concerns.
I don't want to say it's like Fernando Alonso driving the Aston Martin this year, but it's probably a similar sort of
It's
like
not too
approach.
far off,
LJC says, "I wish Sebring track was in GT7. Is LMU coming to console? LMU is coming to console. They say mid 27. I say late 27. We'll see who's right." And Sebring, yeah, I think GT7 is missing an opportunity to just keep. I think GT7 doesn't, to me, feel like a live service game because they're not constantly updating tracks. I would be playing a lot more GT7. I think you kind of checked out GT7. I would be playing a lot more GT7 if every couple of months there was a new track.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you have with iRacing.
I was going to say, talking about Sebring as well, it's the iRacing 24 at Sebring.
12.
iRacing 12 at Sebring this weekend.
Anyone we know doing it?
There's people I know do it. Yeah, there's a Club 100 team.
That is a pretty brutal race on the tyre wear, that last corner.
That last corner is just horrendous.
Yeah.
Like every single lap, it's like, oh, what's the line into here?
I think because you get laser scan tracks there, and you look at how they. And I spent the weekend with Sarah Bovey, Iron Dames, and I went to see her in 2023 at Spa, and Michelle Gatting and Raoul, all the people in that car. They went to Sebring, was the first race of the season.
Yeah.
I think Jack Aitken won it in the Cadillac Hypercar, but in GT, she put it on pole, and I think Michelle, the first corner,
Yeah.
I think she ran wide, hit the dirt,
just done it all in.
and apparently the whole rear bumper. I don't know if you have a look actually. If you look at Iron Dame's Sebring 2023, there's pictures online where the whole bumper of the car, of the Porsche, has just come off in one go. And that was their race. And without that, they would have won it, which is very different to F1 Academy. Where F1 Academy, you got women just racing women, but here Iron Dames was something different. So it's Crash as well.
Crash in there.
2023.
2023. No, it's on
my
fire.
God. Oh no, is that one? Is the bumper come off in the front there?
No.
Okay, I'll have to find some very big crashes showing. But yeah, Sebring just brutal. Even that first sector when your tyres are overheated, it's just so painful because the curves just become so big.
Yeah.
Coming under the bridge, locking
It's
up.
just a brutal track.
It's a brutal track.
It's just a pure brutal track
To me,
drive
it
around.
kind of feels like a street circuit in a way. I don't know what it is, but it's just, yeah.
I know, I completely agree with you. I know it's not classed as a street circuit, but it pretty much is because there's concrete barriers everywhere.
Yeah.
And very little runoff from many corners. But I suppose that's part of the thing with it being... I don't know if it's still active. Can't guess
Sebring?
it. Yeah, no, like an active airport.
Oh,
It used to be
okay.
an airport.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
I don't know if it still is.
Man City is excited and scared for Alienware console. Mike, I'm on the fence right now. I like G7, but I don't play it a ton since I mainly do PC. But now I'm getting my first DD wheel. I don't know if I should pay the Sony tax on the wheel or just PC. If you've already got a PS5, I'd pay the Sony tax.
Really?
Yeah, I'd pay the $100 Sony tax. I'd feel for resale value as well. And
I suppose a resale.
and you just never know, something might come out on PlayStation, or your situation might change and you don't want to have the big PC or something. Personally, I would, if you're getting a brand that has a Sony option, I would get that, whether that's Logitech RS50
That makes
or
sense.
FANATEC.
It's one of the few things I've heard you say which makes genuine sense.
Nick Reese says, I might try Formula Legends. Childish, no, but anyone play it. It's kind of similar to iRacing Arcade, but it has wheel support. Yeah. It's
What, a top-down game?
It's a similar view like that, kind of like Formula Legends. Thanks for hitting the like button. Yeah, 40 likes. Trying to get to 1 billion likes today. Yeah, so that's coming to Course Let's see what else we've got in the news. Don't know if everyone's seen the sim racing show.
What about that one up there?
iRacing and DTM.
I just care about the DTM bit.
Right. I don't know if you've across this, Sam, but very interesting championship this. So DTM is coming to iRacing with an official championship, which is interesting because I believe the esports is done on Race Room.
Okay.
Kind of a German connection there, but obviously iRacing's bigger. It's a global thing.
Mm-hmm.
It happens the Thursday evening before each DTM round.
Okay.
And DTM goes to Spa, Red Bull Ring, Sachsenring,
It's
Brands
no
Hatch.
longer a German series.
No,
for
and
German cars.
Fantastic tracks. Yeah, DTM has had a whole...
It's just GT3, isn't it now?
I think so, yeah. DTM back in the day obviously was, a bit of a beast and, kind of collapsed in a way. But anyway, DTM is just a great series now. So every Thursday before the DTM weekend, at that track, and it's 8 p.m. in your region. So it's like 8 p.m. Europe, 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Oceania, 8 p.m. US. Were you tempted? Or?
That sounds great. I love the DTM stuff. Obviously, with it being such a big series, they go to a lot of tracks which everyone obviously knows.
Yeah.
Like Spa, Silverstone, Brands.
Yeah, the tracks are just unbelievable.
Essentially, it is now just GT3 racing.
So not too unfamiliar cars. I might got to the downforce.
It's the type of thing which I would definitely get involved in.
And I guess if you can commit to that, I mean, it's no different to playing five-a-side at 8 o'clock.
Goals.
Yeah, goals. Or we do this every 8 o'clock. So it's just it's another commitment that in your house runs. I think for about 8 rounds.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you'll place.
Nice.
You'll place in that championship, and you should be in similar splits and have great battles. And to me, that's what iRacing is about. For me, iRacing is about seasonal stuff like that.
Their matchmaking is the best thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things about iRacing.
But I remember when I was doing VRS every weekend, so normally Sundays like 7 or something, we'd see the same teams.
Yeah.
And we'd know when we'd see the lineup.
You continuously race against the same people, which is always great fun. If you have someone you're racing against, you're like, oh, that was a great race last week. And then you're like, oh, yeah, they're in the same lobby again.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, we had that to the best when we were racing with Super GT and Roswald and Nathan, and we had that week in, week out. With that was, I think, I don't think racing really gets better than that, to be honest.
That was peak sim racing
in
the UK.
We'll write the book. And it's all documented on YouTube with Super GT and myself. Yeah.
You streamed it. You and Super GT.
Yeah.
And Ryan's short, which got like 1 million views.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
I don't remember what the short was. I know it's...
Maffa kept saying his surname wrong, didn't he? Pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
And he put all over his car. This
my
is
name,
how you, not Sandel, whatever it was.
That was the original viral sim racing short. Man City says, FYI, Forza Motorsport still has a solid amount of race each day at peak times. Honestly, it's got to only be console players. Yeah, Horizon is looking interesting. I think there's some Horizon news coming out today or tomorrow. They're very good at kind of managing the flow of information on that. We spoke about, I think, the time attack last week. Now it's an interesting feature. Renovatio says, Sebring is a wreck of a track, very poorly maintained. It's also the best feeling track for me and my Alpha U in LMU, the laser scanning every crack. I do feel like when you drive Sebring, you don't feel like it's a flat track, and you feel the grip change.
You know it's bumpy.
You know it's bumpy. You feel it. It's probably one of the best, but it is kind of a bit torturous. Like if I was doing Sebring this weekend, I'd be practicing quite a lot for that, almost to like make mistakes and see what happens when I'm on this part of the circuit. And you know what I think is really cool about sim racing and what iRacing does, and when you talk about doing like Spring 12 hours, is that the amount of people in real life who get to do the Spring 12 hours is tiny. Hypercar
actually in real life, in real cars,
It's the IMSA field or whatever.
This weekend there'll probably be more people doing it than the whole Sebring real life history.
Yeah, maybe. But the fact is that so many people could do it in sim racing, and I don't know how to explain this, but the majority of people are going to be doing it competently. Like, we're going to be doing it, and yes, we're going to make more mistakes than the pros, etc. But we're going to do thousands of laps, like actually doing it like pro drivers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Sat at home,
Yeah.
chilling with your friends as well.
Yeah, on very good on a really accurate simulator, so it's not like there's loads of assists on or something. So that's a pretty cool thing that so many of us get to experience the difficulty of doing Sebring, and we have to raise our game to do it. It's not one you can kind of half-ass around it.
Slow Aim King. Slow Aim King. iRacing is PC only.
Yeah.
I imagine PlayStations will probably explode.
Yeah, they do have NASCAR on Xbox, PlayStation worth checking out. iRacing on your PC, not doing too bad as well. Renovati, if you've ever watched the End of the World Disaster 2012, where the earthquakes were turning the ground up, that's how they made Sebring.
That is how they made it.
I don't know if you saw MotoGP this weekend. It was in Japan somewhere, not Suzuka, and they had a sinkhole on the circuit.
Did they?
They filled it in with concrete, and they carried on racing.
Japan always has random sinkholes.
Yeah.
Like always, there's like ones in Tokyo and stuff like that. Old Max is at Fuji, isn't he?
Sinkhole City. Oh yeah, he's doing some
in a Honda.
Oh, in the NSX then.
Yeah, in the NSX and a Nissan.
I saw Behrman was in the new GT from Toyota. Yeah, the GR.
Well, I suppose
GR
yeah,
GT,
obviously Haas and Toyota.
Lorenzo, when are REVOSIM add-ons finally coming? We don't know. We've been using them. We've used them out in Germany. The handbrake. And the accessories there. Maybe they're doing some more R&D on that. I don't know.
Yeah, some more product testing.
But obviously, REVOSIM is obviously the hardware manufacturer brand for Nikon that's going through these financial issues. I don't know what the take-up has been on REVOSIM equipment. We very rarely get asked about it.
We're one of the first ones, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's meant to come out on PlayStation, Xbox as well, but I don't know what the status of that is. So I think REVOSIM came out pretty hard. Certainly when we went to Sim Racing Expo, they had a full selection of stuff.
The whole lot there, they're giving out freebies. I still use the gloves.
Oh, yeah, gave some gloves out.
I got 2 sets. Gave one to Eric. He still uses them.
So they had some big plans, but obviously Nikon... The situation with Nikon I don't fully understand because it was a parent company, had financial difficulties. But I don't understand really the difference between Nikon and a parent company. So it could be that Nikon's absolutely doing fine, but the parent company's... That might be irrelevant. But I don't know.
I'm surprised that no one's come in for a smaller brand like that, like an entry-level brand. Someone like FANATEC or something.
Like what?
To come in and purchase a entry-level brand.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like turnkey. Like
yeah, they've got all their designs there. They're all significantly different enough than for PXN and stuff like that. So for someone like FANATEC, if they went in, or Corsair, if they went in bought someone like REVOSIM, they've already got all the bases there. They've already got a model. They don't need to do any R&D.
Yeah.
And then they can have their entry level. So you rebrand it, obviously, all FANATEC. This is how you get into it. And now you're impressed by the stuff you like sim racing. It's already branded as FANATEC. You're already sat there looking at your wheel with FANATEC written all over it. I want the next wheel. Oh, what is it? Well, I've got FANATEC here. Let me see what FANATEC got. Yeah. That would make sense to me.
I think so. We'll see what happens there. Renovati, if LMU, if a sinkhole opens up in front of you and you fall in, you use safety rating. And there's a lot of people complaining about LMU safety ratings.
Track limits.
Well, track limits is what we saw in Project Motor Racing. I suspect people who are like long-term iRacers are just really used to it. Lorenzo, the only problem is that you can't use other wheels apart from REVOSIM on their wheelbase. Yeah, maybe they need to rethink that if they want to get people in the And Man City Super GT has got some funny videos trying out NASCAR. Well, we should be visiting actually Super GT soon and doing some cool stuff, which is interesting. Also, potentially, maybe going to see them at the Nürburgring, NLS.
Yeah.
So they won this weekend in class.
Did they?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was up in Sunderland, so I
Yeah. They won in class. Obviously, Max won, inverted
and then
commas,
got
but disqualified for extra tyres. Which
I
seems
don't understand how that happened.
So I think probably over the course of a weekend,
Yeah, I get that, but how would a team
mess that up.
mess it up? Is what I mean.
Honestly, it seems a little bit suspicious to me.
Suspicious for what?
I don't know whether it's sabotage.
Can I just try and make a little tin hat out of this?
Yeah.
Hang on. See if I can get a tin hat.
No, I think it's a bit suspicious that Max turns up NLS, wins,
and
when so many people would want him to fail.
Yeah.
And then he gets disqualified for using too many tyres, not even in the race.
It's still qualifying, wasn't it?
Yeah, which seems to me, obviously, I totally get the qualification. It makes sense because it's a performance advantage. But to me, it almost like, is there a disgruntled employee in that team or something? You know, it's very unusual. Mike says Misha or whatever on YouTube was talking about what they might have done it on purpose. Well, hang on. So you're saying tinfoil hat, but Misha, I guess that's Misha Sharudin. And Mike's saying they were using an automatic suspension. So hang on, is it also the car? Is Misha saying that the Mercedes is illegally fast?
Who knows?
Sounds like Mercedes. But yeah, Max certainly ruffling some feathers there. Obviously, it's great seeing him going down the straight.
It's great seeing him having fun and in something else.
Yeah.
Because it's been... Obviously, we get the odd one here and then, Alonso doing stuff, and Hulkenberg, obviously, and stuff like that. But it used to be where Formula 1 drivers would do literally a race every weekend, whether it's Formula 1 or
to get paid.
Top. Yeah, exactly. I know it's different times nowadays, but it's nice to see Formula 1 drivers showing their skills in other classes.
But with that said, and we don't want to get too into F1, but we can chat at it. Do you think there's a great opportunity for Hadjar? When Max is out there, Hadjar could be in Milton Keynes with the engineers, understanding the car, kind of like getting really embedded in that Red Bull.
I don't think it'd make any difference to him. Sorry,
Isaac. Mike says that they wouldn't get hit with a penalty adding weight. Well, it reminds me of what Max did. In fact, I think we have a news story about Max. Let me pop this up here. Because, well, Max Verstappen has created his own sim racing team. So he's rebranded.
He's rebranded Redline.
Redline, yeah. Let's throw this up on screen. But the reason why I bring that up is that I don't know if you remember the Nürburgring 24 Hours last year where Team Redline did a funny thing where they...
With the wet tyre.
With the wet tyre and heavy weight and everything. And it sounds like maybe something similar. That's just happened. I'm going to use the word create, but... Slow and Keem, I have a Thrustmaster T80. I had one of those a long time ago. What happened with my text, by the way? Where's my text gone?
Gone. Look how sad he is.
Where did it go? Okay.
It works now.
Yeah. I had a T80. I want to get a T598. No, I would 100% go on direct drive. T80 is not direct drive. It just has an elastic band in it. So I would 100% make the move. There's some phenomenal deals on the T598 I've seen in my Discord. So go join the Discord. I think one of the mods can put a link in Argos in the UK. I think it's like, might have been less than £360 or something.
The Thrustmaster 598.
Yeah. So for a direct drive system, I know there's reliability issues with it. If you buy it from Argos or somewhere.
Yeah, you can always return it to them, and Thrustmaster still are honouring.
Yeah. Renovati, sorry I missed starts. I missed it 20 times, but is PMR now a decent buy, 50% off? We think it might be 41% off or something like that. But I think if you want to drive old school cars, then I think it's probably one of the best places to drive them.
It's better than it was originally.
Yeah.
That's as far as
that Red Bull is strong. I feel like I'm getting Red Bull energy from it. Is there real variability in like what's in every can? Like that just feels like
potent.
That's potent.
That's fresh.
That's like from either the top or bottom of the vat or something.
It's better than it was on release day, is how I would put it. I just hit that really hard, so I'm sorry if I deafened anyone. Yeah. Better than release day. It's moving in the right direction. We've only tried it on PC, so if you're on console, it could be completely different experience.
It's a better deal for 50%
It's
off.
better
It should have
now.
been like that originally.
Yes, it's better now. I'm not going to say it's amazing. I've only tried it on PC, so once again, if you've got console, completely different story potentially.
Yeah.
But it's better than it was, and I quite enjoyed the half hour I had on it earlier.
I think it goes back to what we said in Germany at Sim Racing Expo, which I remember having this conversation and we talked about it after in the car park and everything. I said that game is going to be divisive. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. So even now, you may like it or you may not. You're only going to know. It's a bit of a risk, but you might like it, I would say. You might really like it.
24-hour. The 24-hour hasn't happened yet, Sloan King.
The qualifying might try and go to the qualifying. I don't really know how it all works, but I think it would be great to go down and see the FANATEC team as well and see how that integration works.
Sorry, you know better than me. On Steam, don't you get a return?
Yeah, I think you get a 2-hour return on Steam.
If you're on PC, buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
See what you think. Hour and 50. Make up your mind. Return it if you don't.
Yeah,
like
don't
it.
make your mind 2 hours 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
X-Man City Die Hard. Dan Loki said T598 is much better upgrade there. Yeah, I think that was I go to the T598. Chat 43 likes. We need to hit the 50 like front. Everyone watching, smash that like button. And if you've got any questions, let us know. We do have MOZA and FANATEC. One of the first times we haven't just smashed a load of wheels.
Yeah, normally we've got loads on here.
We've got to be a bit careful what we kind of look at because there's lots of sim racing stuff, exciting things happening for sim racing. I think it's going to be, but I also feel like I feel like the software needs to step up. All this amazing hardware is coming out.
Yeah.
This MOZA CS Pro is the Pro version of the CS. The CS is like
it's in the name.
4 years. Yeah,
It's in the name.
4 years old. What's really changed in sim racing software since
In 4 years.
Yeah,
Well,
LMU finally getting there.
Project Motor Racing, that's here. What's changed in software?
But we're
Not a lot.
yeah. iRacing is still
iRacing's still king. GT7's still king of
It's
consoles.
better now. Don't get me wrong. It's better now, but it's not like transformatively better.
Yeah, it's not like what do we have? G29s to a
Yeah.
R50
Exactly.
step up.
But ironically, we have gone through that transition. Like THRUSTMASTER did not have a console direct drive until 2 years ago, maybe less than 2 years. Same Logitech didn't have a console direct drive until about 3 years ago.
Yeah, which is mad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because direct drive was all FANATEC.
Yeah, so
that was it.
So yeah, on console. So there's so many percentage more sim race, especially on console, but even not on console, are now on direct drive systems.
Yeah.
But the software hasn't got equally better.
Direct drive is now
Yeah.
pretty much the norm. May have to censor me if my gut comes out when I take off my jumper.
Slow and Keen says Super GT Team Falcon. Well, if we want to chat, we can see Sam on Project Motor Racing. But let us know if you want to see that. Maybe if we get to 60 likes or something, you can see Sam's driving.
Rate it
in Project Motor Racing. But yeah, some other news items as well. So Mercedes-Benz trucks arriving in SnowRunner.
I don't know what SnowRunner is.
It's a game where you go long distances.
Okay. Like Parry Dakar.
No, you haul stuff.
Oh, okay.
If
you want, you can see me play Euro Truck Simulator.
Race Room losing Ferrari license,
Which is mad.
and the cars have been pulled off sale.
And I wonder why that is.
Guess that you need to pay Ferrari, and maybe they didn't make enough money selling the cars.
Potentially.
We've also got Formula E content returning to Trackmania. So it's interesting that Formula E is choosing Trackmania as their partner sim.
Yeah.
DTM is choosing Race Room and iRacing.
Formula E was a weird way to go.
I guess I guess the demographic, that's what they want to do. And F1 Sim Racing World Championship set to return this month. Cadillac and Audi aren't competing. Maybe just a bit too late. Maybe it's all been signed off too late for them to get a team together. Because they're not going to get a team together until it's not going to incur cost.
No, but the amount of people which are out there, if they committed, they could have a team together within a week.
So the way it's going to work is...
I'll do it for you, Caddy.
The first 3 rounds are going to kick off on 27th March, which I think is the evening I'm there at the NEC. And then after that, rounds 4 to 12 are going to be in F1's headquarters in Biggin Hill, which I think is where they do the broadcast from.
Okay.
I think that's where they have the whole broadcast suite. they're going to do it there as a LAN event. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, F1 Esports, does it particularly excite you or not?
It did a little bit until I saw last year, and it was just horrendous last year.
Yeah, the way they drive
so
the cars.
bad,
And, like, there's a lot of contact as well, like a ton of contact.
Using the ghost loads.
Yeah, it's very different to, say, iRacing Esports, actually, I would say. Slow and King never played Project Motor Racing. Now's your chance if you want. And Riley's saying, is it better? It is better. We both played it. We think it is better.
It's better than original release on PC.
Yeah.
I can't comment for console. That could be a whole different thing.
Is it worth your money? Is another question completely. Right, let us know if you've got any quick fire questions, anyone, about your sim rigs. Because we're playing a lot of games, we're seeing a lot of equipment, and it's important to know what you're running. Like I'm running the SimNet pedals at the moment. I think you're on the new Conspire Evos.
Yeah.
Is Big Screen Beyond 2E enough for VR Sim Racing? So I have the regular Big Screen Beyond. That's definitely fine for VR Sim Racing, although you do need the base station, which is a bit annoying. The 2E should just run smoother. It's not going to be as high quality, but I think it just runs a bit smoother because it's not pushing as many pixels. I will have a video out later this week with PIMAX. I'm going to run through all the PIMAX headsets because we went to Vegas and we tried the
There's a lot of different stuff now, isn't there?
But I mean, what do you between the big Super and the Dream? Which one would you go for?
I can't remember what I said in Vegas.
Well, it doesn't matter what you say now.
It does. My memory's so bad. I think I preferred the bigger one. I don't know why, but I seem to remember I preferred the big one, but the little one literally felt like nothing at all. I always get hot and claustrophobic in VRs. So as much as I think I prefer the big one for comfort, like it felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
The little one, I suspect, would be better for someone like me who doesn't like the heat build-up.
I feel like the little one almost feels like too little. It feels like wearing swimming goggles. I would say is the closest thing I could say to it. And to me, it's unusual for me to be racing in VR and not have a big thing around my head. Yeah. So I'll get used to that for sure. But I was surprised that it felt so lightweight.
So lightweight, yeah.
Even the fact that, because we both, I think, went on the big one and then on the small one.
Yeah.
Because you're used to on the big one having to use more of your neck muscles. When you go on a little one, you move your neck muscle and you've already
given yourself whiplash.
All the way. So yeah, I think Big Screen Beyond as well is a bit like the Dream Air. Dan, any news on THRUSTMASTER Brake Mod? I think just watch this space. They want to hit it before end of March. They're running out of time. But I think it's definitely a watch this space thing on THRUSTMASTER. We know that's going to be a very popular product. Someone said to me that PXN V10 Ultra is the same price Logitech G29.
Oh. Didn't someone say the PXN's $149?
Yeah. What do you mean this?
I don't know which one.
That's a planted comment. Slow M King is a plant. And we instructed to make that comment at this time. This is the PXN V10 Ultra. And I made a video on it saying it's the cheapest wheel direct drive wheel you can get, and I believe it is for $239. Not sure you've seen it in the flesh yet, Sam. What do you think?
Apart from the actual wheel, like the wheelbase is different. I like the lip on here, which is quite cool. Not a fan of the proper skinny wire.
Yeah.
That's not very...
Gonna get pinched.
Yeah, not very confident as far, but it feels like any other...
Terrible paddles, though.
Yeah. It feels like any other entry-level wheel, apart from the MOZA, obviously. The wheel feels very tiny. Like, ridiculously tiny.
Pros and cons?
Tiny wheel is a massive con.
Really?
Yeah, I hate. But then also, I don't like the wider wheels, so this is way too small. The buttons, to me, I know it's a console wheel, and I know it's a wheel. So
it's an old gen console wheel. PS4 and old Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it is technically console wheel.
So I know it's a console wheel, and obviously they're not going for looks wise. It really bugs me that these aren't in a console pattern.
Yeah.
It really,
we noticed that in Germany. We said this to them. We saw it on the poster.
Yeah. They're nearly in the right order.
Yeah.
But they're not. And that actually really, really bugs me. And what about the quick release?
Chat, let us know in the comments what you think about the PXN V10 Ultra. This quick release is not confidence inspiring.
Let me see if I can figure it out.
I want you to give me your thoughts on the wheel when you take it off.
Oh wow! How long's this thread? So light.
So the funny thing is, when the wheel's on there, I don't think you notice how light it is.
Yeah.
And especially when you have force feedback. But when you take it off, it feels so light that it feels like it's not in a good way. But I wonder, because the wheel is so light. Yeah.
This is legitimately heavier than this.
Because the wheel's so light, I wonder if actually that's a great thing from making sure all that force is going to be delivered, because it's not the most powerful. It's like a 3.4 or something newton-meter.
Potentially.
But that is the lightest rim I've ever seen.
I've never felt anything
like
that before, which is pretty mad. Stitching isn't overly consistent.
Yeah.
There's a bit of
I got confused.
a bit confusing. I don't know, to be fair though, they've matched the inconsistent heel with the inconsistent
But for $240,
does it come with pedals?
It does come with pedals.
Nice. We'll presume
And
they're
also,
not load cells.
It comes with, I think, they're probably to the left of you there, with a proper composite metally whatever.
I see that. The mount, the desk mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not feeling this quick release.
It doesn't inspire confidence, let's put it like that. It does feel like you could actually break it.
While doing this, yeah.
While doing this, if you cross-thread it, but then also knowing that's how it works.
How long's this thread, man? It's like 4 years old. 4 years long.
BCR says looks a bit tomey. Mike, are they going to release larger wheels for Logitech Pro? I don't think anything stops anyone making a larger rim for the hub system. Renovatio looks like PXN just copied the old THRUSTMASTER quick release. I had a T500 for a decade, and then the TGC2. It's not a quick release; it's a slow release. Yeah, certainly not.
Yeah.
It'd be quicker to do the old bolt, undo the old bolt thing.
The old FANATEC stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on about actually just taking these bolts out.
Actually, that's
probably quicker.
Yeah, an electric one. But I think it's great. It's democratizing.
If it's cheap and it gets people into it,
you buy it on Amazon again.
Yeah. If it's cheap and gets people into it, then I'm all for it.
But that said, 239. I think it may be like £279 or something. £279. No, it must be cheaper in pounds and dollars.
Yeah, pounds is less. It'd be like $199.
Surely not. PXN V10 Ultra. Oh! Oh my goodness. It's on sale. Guess the price.
$149.
£195. So for £195,
you can get direct drive.
I remember my T150 was about £155.
Yeah.
And also, when you compare that to a G29, G923s often go on sale for like $230 or $240.
Yeah, I was going to say about 300 and saying normally.
I think normally they're $279 around that. Yeah. So, would you get this over a G29?
This?
Yeah.
I'd have to feel the pedals.
Pedals look pretty. Yeah, I mean, there's less to go wrong in a direct drive, actually.
I would get this over a G29.
Yeah.
Purely because direct drive wise. Looks wise, I would get the G29 because I think it looks a lot nicer. Especially the wheel.
It looks a bit like a toy wheel.
Yeah, but purely for the fact it's direct drive, I would go for that over the G29. As much as I had a G29 and enjoyed playing with it. Step from belt to direct drive is such big, it'd be worth it for me.
It's interesting that this is, I think, one of the most kind of like a lot of interest in this wheel, basically. Yeah. And it's so cheap. It shows that PXN.
It'd be cool if they put like a little rev bar in there.
Cost though.
I know, but it's kind of I'll show it.
I'm surprised they haven't got like a little mobile phone mount here or something that you can, just because they know that they're not going to be able to provide it themselves.
Like a little cutout just here. Should be perfect for a rev bar to go. So that's plastic.
Yeah, quite a lot of this is plastic. Although all
USB-C though.
Yeah, a lot of connectivity. Right, chat. Unless anyone's got any more quick questions, we will wrap it up there. Next stop is going to be maybe we try and go live actually on Friday a little bit at the track.
Could do.
Could potentially go
Could
live.
do.
In the car?
While driving?
While driving. I'm not sure that's allowed. But we'll see. It could be the start of some really interesting stuff. We go from just pure sim racing, also doing track days and everything. Okay, right. That's going to be it for this week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see about what happens next Wednesday because we might have a big surprise for everyone.
You've already said like 3 times. Unless there's another surprise.
We might have another surprise for everyone next, so we'll see. But yeah, there'll be another sim racing show and tons of stuff going. And I've got my meet and greet on Friday evening at the NEC.
And I'm at Clay Pigeon.
Yeah, if anyone, there's a Sam meet and greet, but you have to pay the Club 100 entry fee.
Yeah. You can meet and greet me.
Amazing. All right, thanks everyone.